Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillah. Wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa man walah. Allahumma rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatan min lisani yafqahu qawli. In uridu illa al-islah ma istata'tu wa ma tawfiqi illa billah. Respected brothers, sisters, and my dear listeners, Alhamdulillah, over the last 9 months, we were enjoying the company of Sahaabah Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And tonight, we are coming to the end of our program. And Alhamdulillah, we are honored that our honorable guest for tonight, the most beloved person to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the one whom Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam described her as the master of all the ladies Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have created. Habibi sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, Sayyidatu nisa'ul alamin arba'a. The master of all the ladies, there are 4. Asya imra'ata Fir'aun, ومريم ابنة عمران وخديجة بنت خويلد وفاطمة بنت محمد. The 4 ladies are Asya, the wife of Fir'aun, Maryam, Sayyidina Isa's mother, Khadija bint Khuwaylid, we spoken about her last week, and Faatimah Binte Muhammad. The most perfect ladies Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have created. So, tonight inshallah, I want you to enjoy the company of the beloved daughter of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, as-Sayyida Faatimah az-Zahra. Sayyida Faatimah, she got many titles, but she's very famous as Zahra. Zahra is the rose flower. You know the rose flower, how beautiful, how colorful, and how giving you nice scent and nice fragrance. So it was like that to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It got many names, but that is the most famous, Sayyida Faatimah az-Zahra. Sayyida Faatimah az-Zahra, she born 5 years before the revelation. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he was 35 years old. And in this particular year, there was an incident happened in Mecca where Al-Kaaba was hit by heavy rains and floods. And actually it demolished big portion of Al-Kaaba al-Musharraf. So the people of Quraysh, they said, you know, Al-Kaaba from the time Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam, he built it, it got that honor and love, and is a holy place in the heart of each and every person. Though they put idols and such, but still Al-Kaaba is Al-Kaaba. So when it was like that, so they sit together and said, we need to build it, we need to rebuild it, or to renovate it. To do so, they have to demolish. Now they're facing serious challenge. Who's going to get the courage to go and demolish Al-Kaaba al-Musharraf? They know what's happened to Abraham. Most of the people, they witnessed that it was only 35 years ago when Abraham came to destroy Al-Kaaba, and how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have punished him heavily and sent the birds with the stones and fired them. Nobody got the courage to go near Al-Kaaba to that. Then a man called Al-Walid ibn al-Mughira, Sayyidina Khalid ibn al-Walid's father, he said, don't worry, I will go for it. The people was too much excited what's going to happen to Al-Walid ibn al-Mughira. So he started demolishing. The next day he found that nothing have happened to him. Because he was demolishing with the intention to rebuild, but Abraham was demolishing with the intention to destroy Al-Kaaba al-Musharraf. So this is different. So anyway, the people demolished and until they reached the foundation where Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam put it, and they start building. Each and every family, they got portion, one side of Al-Kaaba, and to build it on their own cost. Habibi sallallahu alaihi wasallam and his family also, they was contributing, and the building went on until they complete the building of Al-Kaaba al-Musharraf. Now another challenge, the black stone, which family was going to get the owner to put the stone in its place? Friction started. and war about to start. And the Arab was like that. In those days, they can start a war, carries for years and years for any funny reasons. So one wise man said, people, please hold on. Let us wait for the very first one to walk in, and we'll ask him to give us advice, and will be our judge, and we'll take his advice. While the people excitingly waiting, then Habibi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he walked in. Said, As-Sadiq al-Amin, the honest, truthful, we are accepting his judge in advance. Rasulullah was very honorable. So they told Rasulullah, this is what is the story. What do you think? Then Habib sallallahu he put his gown on the ground, and he told them to bring the stone in the middle of the gown, and said, every family appoint a representative, and to come, and all they around the gown, and everyone hold one side of the gown, and they all hold it together. Then Habib sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he put the stone on its place with his blessed hand. And this actually, it saved the people from serious war. It could be a civil war, can carry for years. And this particular year, Allah have placed Rasulullah sallallahu with his beloved daughter, Sayyidah Faatimah Binte. She was the last born. And usually, the last born is the most dearest to the heart of her parents. We have a common say, they said, أحب الأطفال الأبناء إلى آبائهم المريض حتى يشفى والمسافر حتى يعود والصغير حتى يكبر. The most beloved child to the heart of his parents, the sick one until he recovers, and the one who's traveling, he's far away until he come back, and the young one until he grows up. So usually, the last born is the closest to the heart of his parents. So Sayyidah Fatima, she grown up within this family, blessed family, her father Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and her mother Sayyidah Khadija bint Khuwaylid. And she grown up in a manner and all that. And Sayyidah Khadija actually, she gave her the breastfeed. She fed her herself, which was not very common. You know, all the honorable family, they hire a foster mother or a wet nurse to breastfeed their children. But Sayyidah Khadija, she insisted to give her breastfeed herself. Sayyidah Fatima was very much looking like Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam in his features, in his manner, and everything. She grown up within this blessed, happy family. And then, when she was 5 years old, the revelation started. And Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, as you mentioned last week, when he came and told Sayyidah Khadija, she immediately accepted Islam, and she was the very first person to accept Islam. Followed by her children, Zainab, Ruqayya, Kulthum, and Fatima. So Fatima al-Zahra, she accepted Islam when she was 5 years old. So she was the youngest Muslim to accept Islam. Then the dawah started. Challenges Rasulullah was facing going on, and all the hazards which he faced from the people of Quraysh, until they decided to apply sanctions against Rasulullah and his entire family. And Abu Talib, he found that the life of Rasulullah in threat, so they decided to move to the valley of Abu Talib, or Sha'b Bani Abdul Muttalib. And this was very hard time. They spent 3 years under these full sanctions. No interaction, no business, no marriage, nothing. Sayyidah Fatima, she was 13 years old. And the sanction stayed for 3 years. So when the sanction was left, she was 16 years old. After the sanction was relieved, then Rasulullah sallam, he lost his uncle Abu Talib. And that was a great loss to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And a few days after, he lost his beloved wife, Sayyidah Khadija Binte. So this was the very first shock in the life of Sayyidah Fatimah al-Zahra when she lost her beloved mother. and said, Ya Allah, Allahumma ajirni fi musibati. Oh Allah, support me for that great loss of my mother. At the same time, Sayyidah Faatimah, she started to take care of her father. Because now the other two sisters, they married, Zainab and Ruqayya. Kulsum was 1 year ahead, older than her. But Sayyidah Fatima, she was the most energetic, the most enthusiastic, and she was looking after Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, taking care of him. That's why they call her Abiha, the mother of her father. In the Arab also, you give such title, the one she's looking much about her father, they call her the mother, like the mother of her father. Then the people of Quraysh, after Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he lost his uncle and then his wife. In fact, the people call this year Aam al-Huzn, the year of sadness and sorrow in the heart of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Because he lost the physical support and the moral support. Now, the people of Quraysh, they started harassing and humiliating and giving Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam too much trouble after he lost his uncle and his beloved wife. They put thorn on his way, they put dirt, they harass him verbally and physically. But the worst, it came when the people of Quraysh, they gathered around Al-Kaaba al-Musharrafah, and they said, today we want to have fun. Who is among you people who's going to do something to Muhammad to make us smoke and laugh? Then a man called Uqba ibn Abi Mu'ayt, he said, I will do it. And he waited until Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam came to the masjid. And they waited until Habibi sallallahu alaihi wasallam was in sujood. And they got all the offals of a camel and put it on his back. Sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Habibi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he can't raise his head because of all this on his back. And the people of Quraysh, they just laughing. And the few Muslims there, they were just none of them got the courage to go and defend Rasulullah. Then his beloved daughter, Sayyidah Fatima, she walked in and found Rasulullah in this status. She started crying. And then she took off all these offers from the back of Rasulullah. Then Habibi sallallahu, when he saw his beloved daughter crying, you see how much humiliation when your daughter seeing you on such a status. So he told her, لا تبكي يا بنيتي فإن الله ناجز أباكِ. Don't cry, my beloved daughter. Allah is going to support your father. And Allah is going to fulfill His promise to your father. Then Sayyidah Fatima, she took Rasulullah sallam home, take off his clothes, she washed it, and Rasulullah sallam cleaned up. Then time went on, and Rasulullah sallam, he immigrated to Al-Madinah al-Munawwara. And 3 months after the immigration, Rasulullah sallam, he sent Zayd ibn Haritha and Abu Rafi' to collect the rest of his family. So Sayyidah Fatima al-Zahra, she came to Al-Madinah with the rest of Rasulullah sallam family to settle them. Now, Sayyidah Fatima, the age of marriage. Rasulullah sallam received many proposals from Sahaabah Rasulullah sallam to marry Sayyidah Fatima al-Zahra. And I want to highlight a very crucial point. In the Arab culture, if you marry, if you give your daughter to somebody, you call him sihr. You call it musahara. But if somebody give you his daughter, we call it nasab. So actually, to the best of my knowledge, I didn't find in the English language relevant. They call it, say it in-laws in English. But that's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He mentioned in the Quran, وَقَدْ وَإِنْ آيَاتِ أَنْ خَلَقَ لَكُمْ مِنَ الْمَاءِ بَشَرًا وَجَعَلَهُ نَسَبًا وَصِهْرًا فَجَعَلَهُ نَسَبًا وَصِهْرًا. So nasab and sihr, they are two different in the Arab culture. So Rasulullah sallam, he said in hadith, كُلُّ نَسَبٍ وَكُلُّ صِهْرٍ مَقْطُوعٍ إِلَّا نَسَبِ وَصِهْرٍ. All these relations, nasab and sihr, are going to be cut down one day or another, except my nasab and my sihr. So Sahaabah Rasulullah, they wanted to have all advantage and all the privilege to have this tie with Rasulullah. Sayyidina Abu Bakr, he gave his daughter to Rasulullah. So he wanted to have Rasulullah daughter to get that double relation. Same with Umar ibn al-Khattab. His daughter Hafsa, she's also Rasulullah wife, but he wanted his daughter. So that Sayyidina Rasulullah and Abdurrahman ibn Auf and many other Sahaba, they want to get that privilege to have this tie and relation with Rasulullah by marrying his daughter. Rasulullah, he rejected in a manner. Habibi sallallahu, he never disappoint anybody. He just told them, my apology, we can't do it. Amarani Rabbi an uzawijuha la'ali. Allah have commanded me that she must marry Ali ibn Abi Talib. So Rasulullah sallallahu, he went to Ali, he said, Ya Ali, would you mind to marry my daughter Fatima? Then Sayyidina Ali said, Ya Rasulullah, it is my great honor to get such marriage, but I don't have a mean. I don't have enough money. I don't have any means to go for it. So Rasulullah told him, Alaysa indaka dir'a, you have your shield? He said, yes, go and sell it, and whatever money comes, I will accept it as a mehr, as a dowry. So Sayyidina Ali, he went, sold his shield for 400 dirham. And he came and gave it as a mahr to Rasulullah for his beloved daughter Faatimah Zahra. Then Rasulullah invited all the Sahaba, and the marriage actually of Sayyidina Ali with Sayyidina Faatimah Zahra, there's a lot of sunnah which we inherited from that particular marriage when a new couple getting married. Rasulullah, he performed the nikah himself, and he made dua. بارك الله فيكم وبارك عليكما وجمع بينكما بالخير. Allah shower you with blessing and shower you upon you lot of blessing, and you got a blessed bond between you, which bring all goodness and happiness to you. Very beautiful dua. Then the nikah took place, and Rasulullah, he sent them to their new house and told Ali ibn Abi Talib, before you do anything, wait for me until I come. And this is another sunnah also. So Rasulullah, he told Ali ibn Abi Talib, before you do anything, and this sunnah for any newly coupled getting married, said, you perform 2 rak'at and put your hand on her forehead and say, Allahumma rzuqni khayraha wa khayra ma jubilat lahu wa kfini sharraha wa sharra ma jubilat lahu. Oh Allah, grant me all goodness in her and all goodness she meant to do, and protect me from any badness or any bad things she meant to do. It's a beautiful dua also. For any newly couple, you have to read it. You see, Islam taught us to start your new life with wudu, with salah, with dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to get closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now, Rasulullah, the house where they lived in, it was away from Al-Masjid al-Nabawi. You know, because the area around the Masjid al-Nabawi was expensive. They can't afford to have a house in this area. So they moved to a bit far away place, which is much cheaper, where they can afford. But Habibi sallallahu alaihi wasallam was not so happy that his beloved daughter to be away from him. Because Rasulullah, he wanted to see his beloved daughter every day. You see, Sahaabah Rasulullah, they very much interested to see Rasulullah happy. And they got very, very disappointed when you see Rasulullah is not happy. So one Sahabi is named Al-Harith ibn Nu'man. He found Rasulullah is not happy. He's from Bani Najjar. He told him, Ya Rasulullah, I got a piece of land next to Al-Masjid. I want to donate it and build a house to your beloved daughter. So Rasulullah was very happy. And Sayyidah Faatimah, she moved from that far away to this house. And Habibi sallallahu alaihi wasallam was visiting her on a daily basis and seeing his beloved daughter every day. Now, my respected brothers and sisters, I want to take you to a tour into the house of the beloved daughter of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Rasulullah, whom Allah have offered him to have the mountain of Uhud to be a golden. Then he said, La ya Rabbi, أجوع يوما وأشبع يوما. Rasulullah said, no, I will be happy to have sleep one night with empty stomach. فأدعوك, I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give me something. And next day, I sleep with a full stomach and I make shukr to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Look to the house of his beloved daughter, the bedroom. Piece of a goat skin. And pillow made of skin and filled with dried palm leaf or fibers. And the very same bed, it will be their lounge daytime. They take it and use it. Kitchen utility. They got قربة ومنخل وراحة وإناء. Qurba is a gold, is a skin bottle, you know, where they keep the water. They call it qurba. Mankhul, you know, that sieve where they sieve the flour before they baking. Raha, that grind stone to grind the seeds to make the flour. And another big container or dish sort of to wash and that. Anything else? Nothing. This is the house of the daughter of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Sayyidah Faatimah al-Zahra, she was very happy with this, her life. And not only that, Sayyidina Ali ibn Abi Talib, he got his mother, Faatimah Binte Asad. And Rasulullah used to love this lady because she was looking after him when he was a child. She's the mother of, the wife of his uncle, Abu Talib. And the Sayyidah Faatimah al-Zahra, she was busy looking after her husband and the family and doing all the household. She doesn't have a worker or a maid or anything. One day Sayyidina Ali ibn Abi Talib, he noticed that she got some plasters on her hand from, you know, doing this every day. So he told her, at that time, Rasulullah, they used to have a quite number of captives, war prisoners. And those captives, usually, the people pay for them the blood money to relieve them, or somebody emancipated them or pay for them. And so, Rasulullah Sayyidina Ali ibn Abi Talib, he told Faatimah al-Zahra, I told her, go, why don't you go and ask Rasulullah to give you somebody to help you at home, as a worker, a maid, sort of. Then Sayyidah Faatimah al-Zahra, she went, you see the haya, how these people use. She went to see Rasulullah. Assalamu alaikum, my father. She sat down. She didn't say anything. Then Rasulullah told her, do you want to say something? She said, no, I just came to greet you. And she walked away. Then she told Ali ibn Abi Talib, when she went back home, told him, look, I didn't have the courage to ask Rasulullah such thing. Then told her, don't worry. Next day, both of them, you know, when two better than one, they can talk. So they approached Rasulullah and they told him, Ya Rasulullah, You see, Fatima now, she's so tired and she needs somebody to help her. Look to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam what he said. He said, I can't give you. Because the money we are taken from those, we use it to feed Ahl Sufa. Ahl Sufa, those people whom they are homeless, they don't have any mean, you know. And the Sallallahu actually, he kept a place next to the Masjid al-Nabawi for them to feed them and look after them. I can't leave Ahl Sufa with empty stomach and give you this. So they went back. He didn't say anything. But Habibi sallallahu alayhi wasallam, he does also want to see his daughter disappointed. So he followed them. When he walked in, then they start to stand, said, no, sit. And the Rasul sallam, he said between Ali and Fatima. I want you to imagine this sort of life. The Rasul sallam, ألا أدلكما على خير مما سألتمني. Will I advise you or I give you something far much better than what you have asked me? And this is very good message to our sisters. What this, Ya Rasulullah? What is better than having a maid to clean and help me? Then he said, إِذَا أَوَيْتُمَا إِلَى فِرَاشِكُمَا. When you go to bed, both of you, and look at here, very important, both of you. فَقُولَ سُبْحَانَ اللَّهِ 33, Alhamdulillah 33, Allahu Akbar 34. هذا أفضل مما سألتم. This is far much better than having a maid, having a worker and that. Very good advice from Habibi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Before you go to bed, both husband and wife, they read this tasbihat. Subhanallah 33, Alhamdulillah 33, Allahu Akbar 34. Allah give you power and strength. You don't need worker and it. And actually, Sayyidah Faatimah Zahra, she carried on following her father's command. And Sayyidina Ali ibn Abi Talib, he said, I carried on making this tasbih every night before I go to bed till throughout my life. On another incident, Habibi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when he came back, always first thing to do is to visit Sayyidah Faatimah Zahra. Was out with Ali ibn Abi Talib, one of the battles, and when he came back, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he visited Sayyidah Faatimah Zahra. Then he found her putting on some earring necklace and sort of, you know. Then Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he was not very happy. And Habib sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he got a manner. And we actually mentioned this in Shama'il Nabawiyah, the character of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He never ever shout to anybody or talk to somebody or disappoint or embarrass anybody. If Rasulullah he sees something wrong, they say, the Sahaabah said, you used to know from his face. And they sit on the minbar and look at the manner of Rasulullah. Say, hey, you know what you did and that, and disappoint you in front of everyone. And the Rasulullah he sit and call the people to sit down. And he doesn't point or hint to this person by any means. He said, فَمَا بَالُ أَحَدُنَا. How about one of us, he did so and so. I know what mistake I did. So I got the message. فَلَوْ فَعَلَ كَذَا وَكَذَا لَكَانَ خَيْرًا. That's how Rasulullah, his way of teaching the people. So Sayyidah Faatimah Zahra, she noticed that her father is not happy. His face was not very happy. And Rasulullah, he walked to the minbar. Then Sayyidah Faatimah Zahra, immediately she took off all what she's wearing and she sent it to somebody to Rasulullah, told him, give this to Rasulullah to give it lillah. Then Rasulullah, when he saw and got the message, he smiled, said, أَفَعَلَتْ بُنَيَّتِي هَذَا. My daughter did so. وَاللَّهِ إِنَّ هَذِهِ الدُّنْيَا مَا كَانَتْ لِمُحَمَّدٍ وَلَا لِآلِ مُحَمَّدٍ. This dunya is not meant to Muhammad and his family member. ولو كانت الدنيا تعادل عند الله جناح بعوضة ما سقى الكافر منها جرعة ماء. This dunya, that whole entire world, with all its oil, treasuries, golden, mines, business, money, what all these people fighting for, all on this earth. In the eye of Allah, is not more than the wing of a mosquito. You see the mosquito, how you can wing? The wing of a mosquito, you need a microscope, see, in the eye of Allah. And if Allah see that this dunya is very more than that wing of the mosquito, He is not going to give the kafir, the disbeliever, even one sip of water. So this happy marriage carried on. And that's 1 year after the marriage, Allah granted them their very first baby. It was a baby boy. So Sayyidina Ali ibn Abi Talib, he gave the name Harb. Harb means war. You know, the Arab, they used to give this type of names to show power and strength. Then Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when he saw the baby boy, he said, no, Haza al-Hasan. Hasan means handsome, got a good manner, good character, a lot of goodness in him. Alhamdulillah, it's a nice name, huh? Alhamdulillah. So, Sayyidina Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he called him Al-Hasan. Then, the tahniq, as we mentioned, always Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he showed a bit of date and he give it to wrap the mouth of the baby, and they grown up. A year after, he got another child, baby boy. So Sayyidina Ali want to call him Sakhr. Sakhr is a solid rock, solid stone. Also something true. Then Rasulullah said, no, هذا Al-Husayn. Al-Husayn is exactly like Hassan, but in a small format. Like what we mentioned before, you say kitab means book, kutayib is small booklet, and so on. So Husayn is a small little Hassan. Then they got a third baby boy, his name Al-Muhsin, the generous man. Then two daughters, Zainab and Kulthum. Those are the 5 children from Sayyidah Faatimah al-Zahra with Ali ibn Abi Talib. Habibi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he just loved the family, and most of his spare time he spent it with his beloved daughter and her children. To the extent one day Rasulullah he was in sujood, and Al-Hasan he jumped on the back of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Rasulullah he carried on in sujood until Al-Hasan he came out of the back of Rasulullah himself. And Rasulullah used also to go and spend some nights and sleep there by their house. So one night Al-Hasan he asked for water. Rasulullah he rushed before everybody and get water to give Sayyidina Al-Hasan to drink. Then while he's going, Al-Hasan said, I want to drink. Then Rasulullah he carried on and gave Al-Hasan first. So Sayyidah Faatimah, she told him, أراك تحبه أكثر من أخي. I see you love him more than his brother. He told him, no, because he's the one who asked it first. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, whenever he's going out of town, he want to be sure that the last thing to do before he's going out to visit Sayyidah Faatimah al-Zahra and see her and her children. And when he come back from his trip or whatever, after going to the masjid, before 2 rak'at, the very first house he would see, go to his beloved daughter Sayyidah Faatimah al-Zahra and her children, and see them, and then go to his house. Sayyidah Faatimah al-Zahra, when she visited Habibi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam home, Rasulullah he stood and go by the door and receive her, kiss her, and let her sit next to him. When Rasulullah visited her in her house, she hold his hand, kiss his hand, and take him inside the house. This is how Rasulullah Sayyidah Faatimah al-Zahra was so close to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He never been away from Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. On the battlefield, Sayyidah Faatimah al-Zahra, she played a major role. In the Battle of Uhud, she was there with the ladies, helping the people to nurse the wounded, to give water and that. And as you know, when this battle went on and Rasulullah was wounded and that, then she rushed to see Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. She found that whenever they put water on his wound, he bleeds more. So she burned a piece of cloth and put it on his wound to stop the bleeding. She was also on the battle of Al-Khandaq, battle of Khaybar. And on the day of Fatih Mecca, what has happened that there was an agreement called Al-Hudaybiyah agreement between Rasulullah ﷺ and the Kuffar Quraysh. They actually dishonored their agreement, and they felt, Abu Sufyan, he felt now Rasulullah ﷺ, Muhammad is going to attack Mecca. So he came asking Rasulullah ﷺ to revive his decision. So he met, Rasulullah ﷺ didn't give him any answer. He went to Sahaabah, Abu Bakr, Umar, they didn't give him answer. Then he went to Faatimah and Ali ibn Abi Talib. Told her, why don't you go and intermediate to your father? She told ما كنا نجير على رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم. Nobody can do that. Told her, how about your boy, Al-Hasan? Because you know that he is so dear to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. If you go and do that, she said he is too young and he cannot do so. And Abu Sufyan actually, he went back and Fatih Mecca took place. Now, my respected brothers, the Sayyidah Faatimah al-Zahra, she's going to go through the most painful moment throughout her life. That's when Rasulullah ﷺ was about to die. And when she walked in and found Rasulullah ﷺ, he cannot stand, he cannot meet her by the door like what he used to do. So she was very much hurted, and she walked in and they said, Wa karban ya abata. What a pain and great agony and pressure you have, my beloved father. Then Rasulullah told her, don't cry, my beloved daughter. لا كرب على أبيك بعد اليوم. No agony, no pain for your father anymore. Then Rasulullah, he told the Sayyidah Faatimah al-Zahra something. She started crying. But Habibi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he doesn't want to see his beloved daughter crying. And he doesn't want to see tears of her eyes even few moments before his death. So he told her something else. She made her smile. Then when Sayyidah Faatimah was asked, what does Rasulullah have told you to make you first cry, then you start smiling? He told me, ما كنت لأفشي سر رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم وهو حي. I cannot reveal or release the secret of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam while he's still alive. Then Habibi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he died. And actually, the death of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was very painful and very shocking to all Sahaabah Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, because you can imagine Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam among us, seeing him, talking to him, shaking his hand, listening to him, just looking to his face, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And all these things is just gone. Sayyidina Umar ibn Khattab, he completely denied that Rasulullah passed away. He said no, he wanted to meet Allah like Sayyidina Musa ibn Umran, and he's coming back. Sayyidina Ali ibn Abi Talib, he cannot stand, his feet can't carry him. Uthman ibn Affan, he was fainted. Sayyidina Bilal, when they asked him to go and give adhan, he gave adhan and he came by, Ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah, and he started crying. And he came, said, I can't give adhan, and come to find Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he is no longer there. Sayyidah Faatimah al-Zahra, she cried a lot for the loss of her father, because she was close to her father. She never been away from her father for one moment, from the day she born until Rasulullah sallam passed away. Then they buried Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, and After they buried Sallallahu she looked to Anas ibn Malik. Anas ibn Malik was Rasulullah Sallallahu worker, and he was close to Rasulullah, and Rasulullah was treating him like his own son. Then she told him, أدفنتم رسول الله? Did you bury Rasulullah? Then Anas said, yes. Then she told him, أطابت لكم أنفسكم أن تحفوا التراب فوق رأس رسول الله. Did you have the courage to put the dust on the top of the head of Rasulullah? So Sayyidina Anas, he started crying, and she was crying profusely. But Allah gave her, she got the strong iman and sabr on her heart, and she made dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and she accepted that. But the pain and sorrow on her heart, it was too much. Now the people asked her, Ya Fatima, now Rasulullah passed away, what does Rasulullah have told you? Then she said, when I first walked in, he told me, Ya Fatima, Jibreel, he used to visit me twice a year to review the whole Quran. Once a year. This year he visited me twice. And this illness of mine, I'm going to die. So she started crying. But Habib Sallallahu doesn't want to see his beloved daughter crying. So he told her something, make her smile. Told her, won't you be happy? أن تكوني أول أهلي لحاقا بي. Won't you be happy if you be the very first person from my family to join me? I want you to imagine somebody dying and he told you, you are going to die just immediately after me. How are you feel? Oh man, please don't. No, she was happy. She was smiling. She's going to meet Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam and she'll be in the company of Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. And actually, Sayyidah Faatimah al-Zahra, exactly 6 months after the death of Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, in the month of Ramadan. Rasulullah he passed away on the month of Rabi' al-Awwal. Rabi' al-Awwal, Rabi' al-Thani, Jamad al-Awwal, Jamad al-Thani, Rajab, Sha'ban, Ramadan. 6 months. Then Sayyidah Faatimah al-Zahra, she fell very sick. She was really in pain. And she felt that she's going to die. She went and she bathed and put her nice clothes. It was a new clothes she was also holding it, and her family was surrounding her, and they would start crying. Then she looked at them and closed her eyes and smiled. The first time seeing smiling from the time Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam passed away. And she passed away in 20th of Ramadan, 11 years after Hijrat Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, and she was 29 years and 6 months old. So, my respected brothers and sisters, this was the life of Sayyidah Faatimah al-Zahra, and with her we conclude our program. وجزاكم الله خيرا.